Daughters of the Late Colonel by Catherine Mansfield.
Constantia lay like a statue, her hands by her sides, the sheet up to her chin. She stared at the ceiling.
Do you think Father would mind if we gave his top hat to the porter?
The porter?
Yes.
Why ever the porter?
Well, I don't know.
What a very extraordinary idea.
But he must often have to go to funerals, mustn't he? And I noticed at the cemetery that he only had a bowler. And I thought then how very much he'd appreciate a top hat. And we ought to give him a present, because he was always very nice to Father.
But think of Father's head.
And for one awful moment, Josephine nearly giggled.
We don't have to decide now. We can decide tomorrow.
All right.
Do you think we ought to have our dressing gowns dyed as well?
You mean dyed black?
Well, yes. What else?
But why?
Because it doesn't seem quite sincere, in a way. To wear black out of doors and when we're fully dressed, and then when we're at home to...
But nobody sees us at home.
Kate does.
That doesn't matter, does it?
What about the postman?
Josephine thought of her dark red slippers, which matched her dressing gown, and of Constantia's favourite indefinite green ones, which went with hers. Imagine them. Black. 2 black dressing gowns and 2 pairs of black woolly slippers, creeping off to the bathroom like black cats.
I must say, Con, that I don't think it's absolutely necessary.
Really?
Really.
Perhaps you're right. How many letters have we had up till now?
23.
And you've replied to them all?
I have.
And 23 times when Josephine came to, "We miss our dear father so much," she had broken down. Even now, when she said it to herself, she could have cried again.
Have we got enough stamps?
Enough stamps for what?
If we have to reply to any others.
Well, how can I tell if I don't know who else is going to write?
I was just wondering.
Really, Con?
Was that a mouse?
What?
I heard a rustle. And a sort of hop.
It can't be a mouse because there aren't any crumbs.
But it doesn't know that, does it?
She wished she'd left a tiny piece of biscuit on the dressing table. It was awful to think of the mouse not finding anything. What would it do?
I can't think how they managed to live at all.
Who?
Mice.
Oh, what nonsense, Con. What have mice got to do with anything?
Another thing which complicated matters was that they had Nurse Andrews staying on with them for a few days. It was their own fault, since they had asked her, and, of course, she had jumped at the idea. But it was a bother. It meant they had to have regular sit-down meals at proper times, whereas if they'd been alone, they could have just asked Kate to bring them a tray. And Nurse Andrews was simply fearful about butter. Really, they couldn't help feeling that when it came to butter, she took advantage of their kindness.
When I was with Lady Tux, she had such a dainty little contrivance for the butter. It was a silver cupid balanced on the border of a glass dish, holding a tiny fork. And when you wanted some butter, you simply pressed his foot and he bent down and spared you a piece. It was quite a game.
I think those things are very extravagant.
But why?
Because someone might take too much.
Oh, but who would do that?
Shall I ring the bell?
Yes, Con.
Proud young Kate, the enchanted princess, came in to see what the old tabby cats wanted now. She snatched their dinner plates away and slapped down a white, terrified blancmange.
Might we have the jam, please?
Kate knelt and burst open the sideboard, lifted the lid of the jam pot, saw it was empty, put it on the table, and stalked off.
Oh, dear.
What's the matter?
There isn't any jam left.
Oh,
what had we better do?
We can't bother Kate again.
If it hadn't been for this idiotic woman, they could have eaten their blancmange without jam.
I know.
What?
There's some marmalade in the sideboard.
Oh, yes.
Get it, Con.
Yes, we'll do.
I hope that it isn't very bitter, marmalade.
Her laugh was like a spoon tinkling against a medicine glass. But after all, it was not long now, and then she'd be gone for good. And there was no getting over the fact that she'd been very kind to Father. She had nursed him day and night at the end. Indeed, both Constantia and Josephine felt privately that she had rather overdone it. Supposing Father had wanted to say something to them, something private. Not that he had. Far from it. He lay there, a dark, angry purple in the face, and never even looked at them when they came in. Then, as they were standing there, wondering what to do, he had suddenly opened one eye. Oh, what a difference it would have made. What a difference to their memory of him. How much easier to tell people about it if he had only opened both. But no, one eye only. It glared at them, and then went out.
The end was quite peaceful, I trust.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you, Miss Pinner.
The Reverend folded his coat-tails and began to lower himself into Father's armchair.
Oh, not there.
Oh,
That's Father's chair.
I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right.
So sorry.
That's good.
I want you both to feel...
Yes.
I want to be helpful to you both. There are times when God means us to be helpful to one another.
Yes.
Of course.
And if either of you would like to take communion, here and now, you only have to tell me.
Here and now?
If you like.
You mean here? In the drawing room?
Yes.
The idea of communion here and now terrified them, with no altar or anything. The piano would be much too high, thought Constantia, and Mr. Farrolles could not possibly lean over it with the chalice, and Kate would be sure to come bursting in and interrupt them, thought Josephine.
Not today, I think.
Perhaps you will send round a note if you would care for it another day.
Yes, all right.
About the funeral,
Yes.
I should like it to be quite simple.
Oh, it should be simple, yes.
And not too expensive, but at the same time it ought to be...
A good one that will last.
What?
I said a good one that will last.
A funeral isn't a nightgown, Con.
I know.
It ought to be one that is suitable to our father's position, is what I meant.
Of course. Of course. Leave it to me.
Josephine had had a moment of absolute terror at the cemetery while the coffin was lowered. To think that she and Constantia had done this thing without asking Father's permission. What would he say when he found out?
Buried! You two girls had me buried!
It sounded such an appallingly heartless thing to do, such a wicked advantage to take of a person because he happened to be helpless at that moment. And the expense, she thought, stepping into the black, tight-buttoned cab. What would he say about the expense?
Do you expect me to pay for this gimcrack excursion of yours?
Oh, Con! We shouldn't have done it.
Done what?
Let them bury Father like that.
Well, what else could we have done?
I don't know.
We couldn't have kept him, Jug. Not in a flat that size.
One thing's for sure.
What's that?
Father will never forgive us for this. Never.
Father would never forgive them. That was what they felt more than ever, when 2 mornings later they went into his room to go through his things.
You go first, Con.
No, Jug. That's not fair. You're the eldest.
But you're the tallest.
Then they noticed that the kitchen door was open, and Kate was stood there watching, listening.
Oh, the door handle it's very stiff.
Put some effort in, Jug.
Ah, there we go.
They weren't in Father's room at all. They might have suddenly walked through the wall by mistake, into a different flat altogether. It was the coldness which made it so awful. Or was it the whiteness? Constantia timidly put out her hand. She almost expected a snowflake to fall.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
We'd better pull the blind up.
Yes, might be a good idea.
Well, come on.
They only gave the blind a touch. But it flew up, and the cord flew after it, rolling around the blind stick, and the little tassel tapped as if trying to get free. This was too much for Constantia.
Don't you think we might put it off for another day?
Why?
I don't know.
It's got to be done, Con.
Oh, I know.
I do wish you wouldn't whisper so.
I didn't know I was whispering.
Why do you keep on staring at the bed?
I don't know.
There's nothing on the bed. Not anymore.
Oh, Jug, don't say that. Or at least don't say it so loudly.
Sorry.
Josephine took a wide swerve over to the chest of drawers, put her hand out, and then quickly drew it back again.
Jug?
Yes?
What's the matter?
How could she explain to Constantia that Father was in the chest of drawers? He was in the top drawer with his handkerchief and neckties, or in the next with his shirts, or in the lowest of all with his pyjamas. He was watching there, ready to spring.
I can't. I can't do it.
I think it's much better not to, Jug. Don't let's open anything. At least not for ever such a long time.
But it seems so weak.
But why not be weak? For once, Jug. If it is weak. Why shouldn't we be weak for once in our lives? Let's be weak, let's. It's much nicer than being strong. In fact, I think I might just lock the wardrobe.
Really?
Yes. Yes, I think I will.
When she took the key out of the lock, she gave Josephine the most extraordinary smile, which meant that she knew what she'd done. She'd deliberately risked Father being in there among his overcoats. And if the huge wardrobe had lurched forward and crashed down on Constantia, Josephine wouldn't have been in the least surprised. But nothing happened. But the strain told on them both. They sat down very shaky and looked at each other.
I don't feel I can settle to anything until I've drunk something.
I know what you mean.
Do you think we could ask Kate for 2 cups of hot water?
I really don't see why we shouldn't. But I won't ring. I'll go to the kitchen door and ask her.
Yes, do. Tell her just 2 cups, Con. Nothing else. On a tray.
She needn't even give us a jug, need she?
Oh, no, certainly not. There's no need for a jug at all. She can pour it directly from the kettle.
Con went quickly to the kitchen, and when she returned, Josephine asked,
Was it all right? With Kate?
I don't know. I think so.
You said about the jug?
Of course.
I was thinking that we ought to send something of Father's to Benny.
Oh, yes, yes.
He'll expect it.
Yes.
But it's so difficult to know what to send to Ceylon.
Yes.
I think perhaps Father's watch might be the most suitable thing.
Yes.
But then what about Cyril?
Oh, I think Cyril would really.
Yes, so do I.
A gold watch means so much to a young man.
And when he came to tea.
Yes.
I could say. I see you've got grandfather's watch, Cyril.
Or I could say it. Either one of us could say it.
Dear boy. What a blow his sweet, sympathetic little note had been. Of course they'd quite understood, but it was still a blow. However, as soon as he got back, he was coming to tea with his aunties. Cyril to tea was one of their rare treats. The last time they had seen him was some time ago.
Now, Cyril, you mustn't be frightened of our cakes. Your Auntie Con and I bought them at Buzzard's this morning. We know what a man's appetite is, so don't be ashamed of making a good tea.
Josephine cut recklessly into the rich, dark cake that stood for her winter gloves, or the soling and heeling of Constantia's only respectable shoes. But Cyril was most unmanlike in his appetite.
I say, Aunt Josephine, I simply can't. I've only just had lunch, you know.
Oh, Cyril, that can't be true. It's after 4.
It is all the same. I had to meet a man at Victoria, and he kept me hanging about, and there was only time to get lunch and to come on here. And he gave me a terrific blowout.
I see.
But you'll have a meringue, won't you, Cyril?
These meringues were bought specially for you.
Your dear father was so fond of them.
We were sure you were too.
I am, Aunt Josephine, I am. But do you mind if I take half to begin with?
Not at all. But we mustn't let you off with that.
Is your dear father still fond of meringues?
Well, I don't quite know, Auntie Con.
Don't know?
Don't know a thing like that about your own father?
Surely you must have some idea.
Well, it's such a long time since we last...
Their faces were too much for him. He put his teacup down.
Wait a bit. Wait a bit.
Yes?
What was I thinking? Of course it was meringues. How could I forget? Yes, Aunt Josephine, you're perfectly right. Father's most frightfully keen on meringues.
They didn't just smile. Aunt Josephine went scarlet with happiness, and Auntie Con gave a deep sigh.
And now, Cyril, you must come and see Father.
Right, yes, on my way. Oh, I say, Auntie Con, isn't your clock a bit slow?
Is it?
I've got to meet a man at Paddington just after 5. I'm afraid I shan't be able to stay very long with Grandfather.
Oh, we won't expect you to stay very long.
Aren't you coming with us, Auntie Con?
Of course she is. We all are.
Constantia was still gazing at the clock. She couldn't make up her mind if it was fast or slow. It was one or the other. She felt almost certain of that.
Come on! Don't hang about! What is it? What is it?
It's Cyril, Father.
Josephine took Cyril's hand and led him forward.
Good afternoon, Grandfather.
Well, what have you got to tell me?
Let me think.
What had he? What had he got to tell him? Cyril felt himself smiling like a perfect imbecile. He tried to take his hand back from Aunt Josephine, who was still clinging to him. The room was stifling.
Well?
Cyril says his father is still very fond of meringues.
I can't hear you, girl. Cyril, what's he trying to say?
My God, thought Cyril.
Tell him.
Must I?
Oh, yes, it will please him so much.
Come, out with it.
Father's still very fond of meringues.
Ah!
The Colonel jumped, as if he had been shot.
Don't shout, boy! What's the matter with you? Meringues, what about them?
Oh, Aunt Josephine, must we go on?
It's quite all right, dear boy. He'll understand in a minute.
Can you say it?
Cyril only wanted to tell you, Father dear, that his father is still very fond of meringues.
What an extraordinary thing. What an extraordinary thing to come all this way here to tell me.
And Cyril felt it was. They were still thinking about Cyril and his grandfather's watch when Kate burst in and demanded to know...
Fried or boiled?
Fried or boiled what, Kate?
Fish?
Oh, well, why didn't you say so immediately? How could you expect us to understand, Kate? There are a great many things in this world, you know, which are fried or boiled. Which do you think, Con?
I think it might be nice to have it fried. On the other hand, of course, boiled fish is very nice. I think I prefer both equally well, unless you... I mean, it's difficult, isn't it?
I shall fry it.
Josephine gazed at Constantia. She raised her pale eyebrows until they rippled away into her pale hair.
Do you mind following me into the drawing room, Constantia? I've something of great importance to discuss with you.
It was always to the drawing room that they retired, when they wanted to talk about Kate.
Now, the question is whether we keep her or not.
That is the question.
And this time we must come to a definite decision.
Yes, Jug.
You see, Con, everything is so changed now. There's not Father to cook for.
That's perfectly true.
So,
Father certainly doesn't want anyone to cook for him now, whatever else he might want.
Con,
What?
concentrate.
I am.
What it comes to is, if we did give Kate notice, we could manage our own food.
Why not? Why not? What do you think we would live on?
Oh, eggs
Eggs?
in various forms. And besides, there are all the cooked foods one can get.
But I've always heard that they are very expensive.
Not if one buys them in moderation.
But she tore herself away from this fascinating bypath and dragged Constantia after her.
What we've got to decide now is whether we really do trust Kate or not.
Isn't it curious, Jug,
What?
that on this one subject I've never been able to... quite make up my mind.
Well, we can't postpone it again if we postpone it this time.
But at that moment in the street below, a barrel organ struck up. Josephine and Constantia sprang to their feet together.
Oh, run! Run, quickly! There's sixpence on the...
Then they remembered that it didn't matter. That never again would they be told to make that monkey take his noise somewhere else. Never would their father bellow in that loud, strange manner when he thought they weren't hurrying enough. The organ grinder might play there all day and all night, if he wished. And their father's stick would not thump.
Jug? Jug?
Yes?
Do you know what day it is today?
It's Saturday.
It's a week. A whole week today.
On the Indian carpet, there fell a square of sunlight. It came and went and came and stayed, deepened until it shone almost golden.
The sun's out.
The sun touched Josephine gently. She lifted her face. She was drawn over to the window by gentle beams. Constantia stayed still, wondering, but not as usual, not vaguely. This time the wondering was more like longing. She remembered how, whenever they were at the seaside, she had gone off by herself and got as close to the sea as she could, and sung something she had made up, while she gazed all over that restless water. She went over to where Josephine was standing. She wanted to say something frightfully important about the future.
I was wondering if...
Perhaps... Oh, go on, Jug.
Oh, no, you say what you were going to say.
No, I'd rather hear what you were going to say first.
Oh, don't be absurd, Con.
Really, Jug?
Constantia.
Josephine.
Just say it.
I can't.
Why?
I can't say what I was going to say because I've forgotten what it was.
Josephine stared at a big cloud where the sun had been. And after a moment, she said,
I've forgotten too.
The Garden Party by Catherine Mansfield.
They could not have had a more perfect day for a garden party if they had ordered it. Windless, warm, the sky without a cloud. Only the blue was veiled with a haze of gold light, as it sometimes is in early summer.
Mother, the men are here.
Already?
Where do you want to put the marquee?
Oh, my dear Josie, it's no use asking me. I'm determined to leave everything to you children this year. Forget I am your mother and treat me as an honoured guest.
But I can't possibly go and speak to them yet. My hair is wet.
Well, why can't you speak to them with wet hair?
You go. You go and talk to them, Laura. You're the artistic one, anyway.
All right, yes.
Away Laura flew, still holding her piece of bread and butter. And how delicious to have an excuse for eating out of doors.
It's lovely.
4 men in their shirt sleeves were grouped together on the garden path. They carried staves covered with rolls of canvas, and they had big tool bags on their backs. They looked impressive, and Laura wished now that she wasn't holding that piece of bread and butter.
Good morning. Have you come... Is it about the marquee?
That's right, miss.
He was the tallest of the men, a lanky, freckled fellow. His smile was so easy and unaffected. How very nice workmen were.
Where should it go?
What about the lily lawn? Would that do?
No, I don't fancy that.
Don't you?
No, not conspicuous enough, you see.
Oh.
Now, with a thing like a marquee, you want to put it somewhere that'll give you a bang, slap in the eye, if you follow me.
That's right.
I do follow you, yes. What about a corner of the tennis court? Although, there's going to be a band in one corner.
Going to have a band, are you?
Only a very small one.
The man had a haggard look as his dark eyes scanned the tennis court. Perhaps he wouldn't mind so much if the band was quite small. Then the tallest one said,
That's the place over there, against the trees. That'll do fine.
Against the laburnums?
Yes, miss.
but then they would be hidden, and they were so lovely. But the men were already heading for the place. Only the tall fellow was left. He bent down and picked a sprig of lavender and smelt it. How many men that she knew would have done such a thing? And why couldn't she have workmen for friends, rather than the silly boys she danced with and who came to Sunday night supper? And it was all the fault of these absurd class distinctions. Well, for her part, she didn't feel them. Not a bit. Not an atom. Just to show how happy she was, just to show the tall fellow how at home she felt, Laura took a big bite of her bread and butter. She felt just like a work girl.
Laura? Laura, where are you?
In the garden.
There's a telephone call for you.
Coming. Excuse me, won't you?
Oh, yes, miss.
It's all right, miss. Ta-ta. I say, Laura, you might just take a look at my coat before this afternoon, see if it wants pressing.
I will.
Right, I'm off.
Oh, Laurie.
What?
I do love parties, don't you?
Rather. Now, dash off to the telephone, old girl.
Oh, yes. Hello?
It was Kitty asking if she should wear her white dress or her pink dress. Laura thought the white would be much better. After Laura had hung up the telephone, the doorbell rang.
Where do you want them?
Oh, I'm sure I don't know. I'll have to ask Mrs. Sheridan.
What is it, Sadie?
It's the florist, Miss Laura.
Oh, my goodness.
The man held a wide, shallow tray full of pots of pink lilies.
It's a mistake. Nobody ever ordered so many.
No mistake. I ordered them. Aren't they lovely?
I'll fetch the other tray.
There's 2 trays.
I was passing the shop yesterday and I saw them in the window and I suddenly thought, for once in my life, I shall have enough canna lilies. The garden party will be a good excuse.
But I thought you said you weren't going to interfere.
My darling child, you wouldn't like a logical mother, would you?
She put her arm around her mother's neck and gently, very gently, bit her ear.
Oh, don't do that. Here's the man.
Where do you want them?
Oh, bank them up just inside the door, on both sides of the porch, please.
If you please, Mum.
What is it, Sadie?
Cook says, have you got the flags for the sandwiches?
The flags for the sandwiches, let me see. Tell Cook I'll have them in 10 minutes.
Mum.
Now, Laura, come with me into the smoking room. I've got the names somewhere on the back of an envelope. You'll have to write them out for me. Josie, run and finish dressing this instant. Look, do you hear me, children, or I shall have to tell your father when he comes home tonight. And, Josie, when you're dressed, pacify the cook. I'm terrified of her this morning.
The envelope was found at last behind the dining room clock.
How it got there, I can't imagine. Can you? Well, one of you children must have stolen it out of my bag, because I remember vividly. Cream cheese and lemon curd. Have you done that?
Yes.
Egg and... Oh, looks like mice. It can't be mice.
Olive.
Oh, yes, of course, olive.
Is that all of them?
Yes. You may take the flags to cook.
In the kitchen, Laura found Josie pacifying the cook, who did not look at all terrifying.
I've never seen such exquisite sandwiches. How many kinds did you say there were?
15.
Oh, well, cook, I congratulate you.
Here are the flags.
Oh, thank you, Miss Laura.
Oh, look.
What?
Godbers has come.
Godbers were famous for their cream puffs. Nobody ever thought of making them at home.
Let's go into the garden out the back way. I want to see how the men are getting on with the marquee. And they're such awfully nice men.
But the back door was blocked by Cook, Sadie and Godber's man. And Sadie had her hand clapped to her cheek, as if she had toothache. Something had happened.
What's the matter?
There's been an accident.
A man's been killed.
Where? How? When?
But Godber's man wasn't going to have his story snatched from under his very nose.
You know those little cottages just below here?
Yes, of course.
Well, there's a young chap living there named Scott. He's a carter. His horse shied at a traction engine corner of Hawk Street this morning and he was thrown out at the back of his head. Killed.
Oh.
They was taking the body home as I come up here.
It's a terrible thing.
He's left a wife and 5 little ones.
Oh, no.
Poor little things.
Well, I must go and dry my hair.
But Josie? Josie?
What?
However, are we going to stop everything?
Stop everything? What do you mean?
Stop the garden party, of course.
Stop the garden party?
Yes.
Oh, don't be so absurd. Of course we can't do anything of the kind. Don't be so extravagant.
But we can't possibly have a party with a man dead just outside the front gate.
But now she really was being extravagant, because the little cottages were in a lane to themselves, at the very bottom of a steep rise that led up to the house. A broad road ran between them.
But think of what the band would sound like to that poor woman.
Oh, Laura, honestly. If you're going to stop a band playing every time someone has an accident, you'll lead a very strenuous life.
But Josie...
I'm every bit as sympathetic as you, I am, but you won't bring a drunken workman back to life by being sentimental.
Who said he was drunk?
Well, they quite often are.
I'm going straight up to tell Mother.
You do that.
I will. Mother?
Yes?
Can I come in?
Of course, child. I was just trying on this hat. What do you think? What's the matter?
Mother, a man's been killed.
In the garden?
No, oh no.
Oh, what a fright you gave me.
But it really is the most dreadful thing.
Breathless, half-choking, Laura told the story.
But listen, Mother, of course we can't have our party, can we? The band and everybody arriving. They hear us, Mother. They're nearly neighbours.
Dear child, use your common sense. It's only by accident that we've heard of it. If someone had died there normally, and I can't understand how they keep alive in those broken little places, we would still be having our party, wouldn't we?
61歳。結婚してます？
Well,
ご主人何歳ですか？
isn't it really terribly heartless of us?
あ、そうですか。そうすると今はお一人で暮
Mrs.
らしてる。
Sheridan got up from her
で、お
dressing
子さん
table
は
and came over to her carrying the hat.
何歳ですか？
And before Laura could stop her, Mrs. Sheridan put the hat
で、
on
二人とも
Laura's
家を出
head.
てるわけですね。はい、わかりました。で、どんな想像でしょうか？
What? Oh, that hat.
はいはい。
It's simply made for you. Look in the mirror and look at yourself.
I can't.
はい。
I don't want to. I can only think about the man.
You really are being absurd, Laura. People like that don't expect sacrifices from us. And it's not very sympathetic to spoil everyone's enjoyment as you're doing now.
はい。
Just don't understand.
Don't understand what?
はい。
You or Josie?
Laura, darling.
はい。
She walked quickly out of the room and went to her own bedroom. And there, quite by chance, the first thing she saw was this charming girl in the mirror, in a black hat trimmed with gold daisies and a long black velvet ribbon.
はい。
Never had she imagined that she could look like that.
はい。
Is Mother right? She thought. And now she hoped that her mother was right.
はい。はい。
By 2:30, the green-coated band had arrived and was setting up in the corner of the tennis court. And Josie said,
Aren't the band too like frogs for words? We ought to have arranged them round the pond with the conductor in the middle on a leaf.
Then Laurie arrived. And at the sight of him, Laura remembered the accident again. And then she wanted to tell him, because if Laurie agreed with the others, then it was bound to be all right.
Laurie?
Hello? I say, you do look stunning, Laura. What an absolutely topping hat.
Is it?
And then she smiled and didn't tell him after all. Soon after that, people began arriving. They were like bright birds that had alighted in the Sheridan's garden for this one afternoon. On their way to where? Who knows? And people said things like,
Darling Laura, how well you look. Oh, thank you.
What a becoming hat, child.
Do you like it?
Laura, you look quite Spanish.
Spanish, really?
I've never seen you look so stunning.
Thank you. Have you had tea? What about an ice? Won't you have an ice? The passion fruit ices are really rather special.
she ran to her father,
Daddy, darling, can't the band have something to drink?
and the perfect afternoon slowly ripened, slowly faded. Slowly its petals closed.
はい。
And people said things like,
Never a more delightful garden party.
Outrageous success.
Quite the most lovely afternoon.
はい。はい。
All over. All over. Thank heaven, I'm exhausted. Yes, it's been very successful, but oh, these parties. Why would you children insist on giving parties?
Have a sandwich, Daddy dear.
I don't suppose you heard of the beastly accident that happened today?
Why, yes, we did. And it nearly ruined the party.
Ruined the party?
Yes. Laura wanted us to put it off.
Oh, Mother, please.
Well, you did.
I know, but...
Well, it was a horrible affair. The chap was married, lived just below in the land.
Yes.
Apparently he's left half a dozen children, too.
5.
What?
You said half a dozen, but there are 5.
I know. Let's make up a basket of all this food and let's send it to the poor man's wife. All these sandwiches and cakes and cream puffs, they'll surely be the greatest treat for the children. Laura, get me the big basket out of the stairs cupboard.
But, Mother, do you really think it's a good idea?
Of course. What's the matter with you today? An hour or two ago you were insisting...
Basket, and soon it was filled, heaped full by her mother.
Take it yourself, darling. Oh, and Laura, don't on any account... Nothing, actually, nothing. Run along, child.
It was just growing dusky as Laura shut their garden gates. How quiet it seemed after the afternoon. Laura wished now she had put on her coat. How her frock shone. And the big hat with the velvet streamer. If only it was another hat. It was a mistake to have come. Should she go back? No, too late. This was the house. The dark knot of people stood outside. The group parted, though she was expected.
Is this Mrs. Scott's house? Thank you.
The front door opened, and a little woman in black.
No, it's all right. I don't want to come in. I only want to leave this basket. Mother sent me.
Laura found herself in a wretched little low kitchen, lit by a smoky lamp. Another woman sat staring at the fire.
As a young lady, please don't disturb her. I only wanted to leave this.
Her face was terrible, with swollen eyes and swollen lips, and she seemed as if she couldn't understand why Laura was there.
そして、都合のいいところは、自分なりに解釈をして、納得して、その場を収めるんですけども、今、あなたがこの無常の寂しさっていうのは、今までの怒りの積み残しを整理してないんです、実は。だから、まず一番大きいのは、ちょっと私聞き間違いだったらごめんなさいね。次男の方が、形だけは木曜日の形取ったということですよね。それと次男さんが、お嫁さんのところに席に入ったわけではなくって、あなたの席からは抜いてないんですよね。あなたは自分の意思はあくまでも通したじゃないですか。これがあなたの意志の強さです。ところが、席だけは私のところに入ったけれども、息子夫婦は心も形も全部ないんですね、あなたのところに。同じことがこの職場で言えるんです。職場で信用している人、信じた人があなたに無視をしたと。だから私は仕事は嫌ではないけれども、その無視の寂しさでその仕事場に行けなかった。ここまで確かですよね。そこまでは現実なんですよ。次からなんです。職場の方があなたをここで働いてほしいんだ。だけれども、あなたのためにもね、今は体を養生してやめた方がいいんじゃないですかっていう形で退職をしたと言ってましたね。あなたは事実を知っているんです。事実はあなたが一番求めたくないことは、やめてくれということが嫌なんですね。わかります？つまり、すべて次男の人も、この職場も、表面的には何ら傷はついてないんですね。あなたの意思を通しているんです。でも、あなたの心から求めているものは違っているんです。人に言えない怒りがあるでしょ。面白くないんですよ。こういうことが今続いてきて、全部それが心の中で整理できてないんです。 これ良かったと思えればどんなに楽だろうってことです。私たちの年代になると、一つ一つの感情を全部自分で畳んで川に流していくんですね。流しても、きれいに畳めば流れますけれども、感情で流したものが目の前で棒に刺さってるんですよ。今、あなたはそんな状況だと私は理解してるんです。じゃあ、その感情の時どうしたらいいかってことですよね。今はあなた健康でしょ？それから経済的にも恵まれてますよね。
He wore a very shabby dressing gown and carried a crumpled newspaper
一人で
in
生き
one
てますよ
hand.
ね。
He could hardly
も
go
しで
back
す
to
よ、
the warm sitting
あ
room
なた
without
に
saying
あなた
something
が愛
else.
する人
I hope
が
the funeral went
そばにい
off
た
all right.
ら、この健康も経済的
I
豊
hope
かも
the funeral was a,
一人で自立できる生き方も
a
捨てられます
success.
か？
Ma Parker
私をす
gave
ごく
no
大事にしてくれる
answer.
人がいたなら、
She
もうどん
bent
な苦
her
しみも
head
構わ
and
ないと。
hobbled off to the kitchen. Then she
と
tied
いう
her
ことは、
apron and
あ
sat
なた
down
は
to
今
take off her
一番
boots.
大事なものが入ってるんじゃないで
To
すか。
take her
ま
boots
ず自
off
分のあるもの
or
を
put them on
確認
was
する。
agony
そ
to
れ健
her.
康を考えたらこん
But
な
it
こと
had
は
been
さまつに
agony
見えて
for
きませんか？
years.
ね、だけど人間は自分が一番求めてることを分からないと、こういう感情
He
で
went and sat
自
in
分
her
の体を
lap,
壊していくんです
put
よ
his
ね。
arms around her neck, and rubbed his cheek
それ気づい
against
ていただけまし
hers.
た？
What you
じゃ
been
あ
doing
次
now?
です。
Playing?
これからお
What you been
金をかけ
playing?
ないで
Just playing?
優雅に暮らしながら
If I
自分を
give you
もう
a
一度磨いてみようと思いませ
what
ん
will you
か？
give your grain?
He
趣
gave
味
a
なんていら
shy
ないん
little
ですよ。
laugh and
本当に
pressed
昔から好きだった
closer.
趣味は別ですよ。
She felt his
今から
eyelid
なんか
fluttering against
気休めでやろうって
her
趣味は捨て
I
て、
ain't got
まずですね、
nothing.
あなたは一番大事な香りです。香り。騙されたと
During
思
the
って
week,
髪
the
洗いますよ
literary
ね。
gentleman did for
洗った
himself.
後、少し
That
濡
is
れ
to
てる
say
時
that
に
he emptied the
ボー
tea
デコロン
leaves now
か
and again.
香
And if
水
he
を
ran out of clean forks,
耳の
he
後ろ
wiped
の方に
over
かけてくだ
one
さ
or
い。
two.
そして
Otherwise, his system
寝
was
た
quite
時に
simple.
な
And
ん
he couldn't
とも言え
understand
ない
why people
女ら
made
しい匂
all
いが
this
漂ってくるんで
fuss
す。
about housekeeping.
その時
You
にね
simply、dirty
ああ、私
everything
まだ
you've got,
女
then
性
get
な
a
んだって感
haggling
覚が出
once
ま
a
す。
week to clean up,
次は
and the
料
thing's
理で
done.
す。
The result looked like a
料理は
gigantic dustbin.
そんなに高級
Even
な
the
ものじゃな
floor
くていい
was
んで
littered
す。
with toast crusts,
必ず一
envelopes,
品は
cigarette ends.
時間をかけて作
While
って
the
ほしいんで
water was
す。
heating, Ma
次
Parker
です。
began sweeping the floor
朝と夕
and
方だ
thought to
け
herself
食
that
事
she
時
had
間を
had
守
a
ってほしいん
hard
です。
life. Even
食
the
事時間
neighbors
が朝と夕
said
方
that of
絶
her.
対この時間にすると思った時にスケジュールが変わってくるんです。私はこの行動何言ってるんだろうと思った時に自分の行動の中で自分の求めてるものが分かるんです。
It was
つま
just
り
as if he were
女
to
性
say
として
she
生
lived
き
in
て
the
生きていくっていう
basement,
意識が
number
あるわ
27.
けでしょ。それを今あなたは作ってほしいん
At
です。
16,
そ
she'd
して
left
最後なん
Stratford
ですけ
and
ど
come
も、
up to London
ド
with
イ
a
ツの女性はよくやるんですけどね。
Nothing
夫も
remained
い
of
なくなって
Stratford.
とにかくそれこと悲しくて苦しいっていう女性が全部なる方法は歩くことなんです。
Was there anything else?
何も考えないといい。歩いているっていうことが
She
自分の
went
意
as
識の
help
中
to
で
a doctor's
前に進んでる感
and
覚が
after
身
2
につくんで
years
す。
there, on the run from
進む
home
っていう
to
意
night,
識が
she married her
人
husband.
生を変えてしまう。
He was a baker.
ですから、これ何もお金も何もかかってないでしょ。ですからあなたにぜひですね、24時間神様にいただいたこの時間をですね、あなた個人のね、色のついた生き方をしてほしいなと思ってるんです。これがお役に立つか分かりませんけれども、ぜひ、試
I
してや
wasn't
って
in
み
the
てくだ
shop
さ
a
い。
great deal.
先生いかが
We
ですか？
had 13 children, you
具体
see.
的なアドバイスしていただきましたよ
And we
ね。
buried 7 of them.
さっき最後の大原先生が
If it wasn't the hospital, it was the infirmary, you might say.
怒りはいつ頃からあります
The
か？
literary gentleman
結構
shuddered
昔からない。
and took up his pen again.
で、
Yes,
あなた今
7
寂しい
had
って言った
gone.
けれども、
And while the 6
主人
was
が亡
still
くなって、
small, her husband was taken ill with
主人がい
consumption.
る時から寂しかった
It
ん
was
じゃ
flour
ない
on
の？
the lungs, the doctor told her.
Now, if you were to cut him open here, Mrs. Parker, you'd find his lungs chock-a-block with white powder.
Her husband sat up in bed with his
今の
shirt
寂し
pulled
さを
over his
ね、
head,
主人が亡くなったから寂しいっ
and
てい
Mrs.
う
Parker never knew whether she
解釈を
saw
しない
or
方がいいと
fancied
思い
she
ますよ。
saw. A great fan
も
of
とも
white
と寂しいん
dust
ですよ。
come out of her poor dear husband's lips.
なんでもともと寂しいんだろうっていうことで
The
すよ。
piles of dirty cups,
その原因が何
dirty
だっていうこ
dishes
と
were
を
washed and
しっ
dried.
かり突き
The
止めない
ink
と、
black knives were cleaned with a piece
大
of
原先生の
potato
言葉で言うと
and
川に
finished
流
off
すよ
with
う
a
に
piece
も
of
ね流れ
cork.
ていかないんですよ。
The table was scrubbed,
お
and
そ
the
らくなんか
dresser, and
小
the
さい頃
sink
から
that
ね、
had Dean-tailed
人を独占
swimming
した
in
かったんじゃないのかな。
it. She thought of her grandson, little Lenny, never a strong child. never from the first.
He was one of those fair babies that everybody
全部
takes
わ
for
が
a
まま通った
girl.
わけですよね。
Whose boy are you?
全部わがまま。その結果、
At that moment, the
でもあな
literary
た寂しい
gentleman
んですよ。
appeared.
Oh, Mrs. Parker, I'm going out.
Very good, sir.
And you'll find your half-crown in the tray of the
それ
inkstand.
であなた自身も、この病気を
By the way,
手
Mrs.
段に
Parker,
し
you
て
didn't throw any
全部自分の
cocoa
やりたい
away
こと
last
わが
time
ま
you
ま
were
を通
here,
したん
did
です。
you?
No, sir.
I could have sworn I left a
それは
teaspoon
も
of
う
cocoa
あ
in
な
the
たにとっ
tin.
て手放せない病気だったんです。
You'll always tell me when you throw things away, won't you, Mrs. Parker?
Of course, sir.
そうすると結
And he
局人
walked
間っ
off,
て
very well
怒
pleased
り
with
と虚しさ
himself,
しか残んないんです。
convinced, in fact, that beneath his apparent
だから
carelessness,
この
he
寂し
was
さに
as
正面
vigilant
から
as
耐
a
えるこ
woman.
とが自
The
分
door
の
banged.
存在に
She
意
took her
味を与
brushes and
えてくれるん
cloths
です。
into the
充
bedroom.
実感。
But when she began to make the
そうする
bed,
と自立してきます
smoothing
か
and
ら。
patting, the thought
今
of
まで
little
は
Lenny
逃
became
げたからこうなっちゃったん
unbearable.
ですよ。
Why did
自
he
分のわがままを
have
通
to
す
suffer
病気
so?
に逃げたん
Why
です。
should a little angel child have to fight for his breath?
ですから
It's not your
今
poor
回は
old
寂し
Gran's
さから逃
doing,
げない。
my sweetheart.
But
よろし
Lenny
いでしょう
moved
か。
his head
は
and
い、どうも
edged
失礼
away
しま
from
す。
her. Dreadfully offended he looked, and solemn.
寂しさにいかに耐えるか。
Lenny,
この
my
態度が
lovey.
人間の価値を決めます。
Ma Parker threw the counterpane over the bed. It was too much.
もしもし
She'd had
テレフォン
too
人生
much
相談
to
勝野
bear.
博です。よろしくお願いいたしま
She'd
す。
borne it up until now. She
今日
kept
は
herself to herself.
どんなご相談ですか？
Never once has she been seen to cry. Not even her own children had seen Ma break down. But now,
今後の生き方。
Why must it all have happened to
あな
me?
たおいくつですか？
What have I done?
52歳。奥
What have
様は？
I done?
her misery was so terrible that she pinned on her hat like a person in a dream.
はい。
It was cold in the street.
はい。
People were flitting by very fast. Men
お仕事
walked
は
like
会社員かなんかで
scissors,
すか？
and nobody knew. Nobody cared.
それで
Without
ご
the
相
thought
談
of
が
crying here.
今後の生き方と言いますと？
It was as if little Lenny leapt into her arms. If only she could cry for a long time.
But where?
Thought of crying here. Now, it was as if little Lenny leapt into her arms. If only she could cry for a long time.
But where? Where can I go?
She couldn't go home. Ethel was there, and it would frighten the life out of her.
Isn't there anywhere?
はい。
Anywhere in the world I can have a cry?
はい。
Ma Parker stood looking up and down. The wind blew out her apron, and now it began to rain.
Isn't there anywhere?
But there really was nowhere.
この2年間がむしゃらにやってきたんですけど、今後この状態が続くとなると、どっかで心が折れちゃうんじゃないかなということですね。
なるほど。奥様の
Exactly when the ball began,
自殺を
Layla
し
would
よ
have
うと
found
し
it
た
hard to say.
きっかけとか
She
なん
shared
か
a
お聞きしてよろ
cab
し
there
い
with
で
the
すか？
Sheridan girls, and the bolster on which her hand rested felt like the sleeve of an unknown young man's dress suit. And away they went, past waltzing lampposts and houses and fences and trees.
Have you really never been to a ball before, Layla?
I really haven't. But my child, that's too strange. When our nearest neighbour was 15 miles away. Even so.
How hard it was to be indifferent like the others. She tried not to smile too much, tried not to care. But every single thing was so new and exciting.
Laura, yes, your hair looks wonderful. Does it? You know it does. I've never known your hair go up so successfully as tonight.
Oh, how marvellous to have a sister. In her excitement, Layla felt that if there had been time, if it hadn't been impossible, she couldn't have helped crying because she was an only child and no sister would ever say to her,
I've never known your hair go up so successfully as tonight.
But of course there was no time, because they were at the drill hall already.
Do hold on to me, Layla, darling, or you'll get lost.
Layla clutched her fan and gazed at the gleaming golden
その
floor.
結果ということですね。
The azaleas, the light.
それで今日のご相談の内容としたら、こういう状況の中で
Layla
奥
clutched
様
her
の看
fan
病
and
と仕
gazed at
事
the
と
gleaming
子
golden
育てと
floor. The azaleas, the lanterns, the stage at one end with its red carpet and gilt chairs.
How heavenly. How simply heavenly.
What did you say?
Nothing. I was just... nothing. Everyone, this is my little country cousin Layla. Be nice to her. Find her partners, won't you? She's under our wing.
Of course we will.
Strange faces smiled at Layla, sweetly, vaguely, but she felt they didn't really see her. They were looking past her towards the men. There they stood, smoothing their gloves and patting their glossy hair. Then, quite suddenly, as if they had only just made up their minds that that was what they had to do, the men came gliding over the parquet. A tall man flew up to Josie, seized her program and scribbled something. Josie smiled and passed him on to Layla.
May I have the pleasure?
Oh, yes, yes.
He smiled and was gone. Then quite an old man, fat with a bald patch on his head, took her program.
Let me see.
ではですね、今日は心についての
Oh, please don't
エッ
worry
セ
if
イ
you
スト
can't.
としておなじみのマドモアゼル愛先生がいらっしゃいますので、
Oh,
い
thank
ろい
you.
ろお伺いしてみたいと
Do
思
I
います。
remember you from somewhere?
I don't think so.
I'm sure I do.
事情状
I'm
況
sure
です
I
よね、や
do
っぱり
recall your
ね。
bright little face.
I don't recall
まあ状
yours.
況はよく分かったんですけ
Your
れど
face,
も、
I mean.
ちょっと一番今心配なのがね、
At
一
that
流校
moment,
に
the band
入れさ
began
に
playing,
入
and the
っ
man
てついていけなく
disappeared.
なった子っていうのは次女の子で
Layla
す
had
よ。
learned to dance at
それ
boarding
で
school.
次女の子はこの
Every Saturday
お母さ
afternoon, the
んが
boarders
そ
were
うなっ
hurried
た
off to a little
ことに
corrugated iron-clad mission hall,
一種
where Miss
関係
Eccles
し
of
ているよね、
London
深くね。
led her class.
それで
Excuse
そ
me,
こら
this
辺
is
の
ours,
心理的なものってどういうことになってるんですか？
Someone offered her his arm, pressed his hand to her waist, and she floated away like a flower that is tossed into the pool.
Quite a good floor, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's most beautifully slippery.
Pardon?
I think it's most beautifully slippery.
That's what I thought you said.
He steered quite beautifully. That was the great difference between dancing with girls and men. Girls stand on each other's feet, and the girl who was gentleman always clutched you so.
この問
Were you
題
at the
を
bells last week?
自分
No,
一
this
人
is
の
my
問題
first
として
dance.
解決しようとしてるよね、今ね。
Really?
Yes, really is the first dance I've ever been to.
Oh, I say.
You see, I've lived in the country all my life up until now.
Laura passed and gave Layla the faintest little wink. It made Layla wonder if Laura was quite as grown up as she appeared. Her second partner talked about the floor again.
Floor's not bad.
Does one always begin with the floor?
Sorry.
I meant...
Were you at the Neves on Tuesday?
No, this is my first dance.
Layla began to explain again. Her partner did not seem remotely interested.
Care for an ice?
Yes, all right, thank you.
They went through the swing doors, down the passage to the supper room. Her cheeks burned.
要するに物理的にお母さんが今倒れていて、
How
回
sweet
復の見
the
込みが
ices
ない。
looked on little glass
こうい
plates.
う大事件
And how
が
cold the
自
frosted
殺という
spoon
悲しい方式によって起きたんだと。
Marvellously
そして
refreshing.
それがなぜ起きたかっていう本当の真意はつかめない
When they came
も
back
の
to the
の
hall,
残された家族私たちはこの出来事を今どうやって受け止めているのか、どう分かち合っているの
The first
か、
dance, is it?
そして今後どう対処しようとしているのかという共通の認識に至っていないよね。
30
それで
years?
僕ね、それがない限りね、
Oh, well, I think it's
お父さ
marvellous
んは
that
ど
you're
んど
still
ん孤独
going
になっ
on.
ていく。
That's kind of
それか
sad.
ら
the man
長女
pressed
も
her a
ます
little
ます孤独
closer.
にな
You,
って
of course,
いって、
can't hope to
まあ、い
last
ずれは結
anything
婚し
like as
て
long as that.
家を離れていくわけで、
I was
心に何
just
らか
making
の
the
トラウマ
point
を持っ
that
た
you
まま
can't
別の
expect
人
to
生を
last
歩
as
み出
long
す
as
ことに
me.
なるよね。それから
Before
次
you
女
know
に
it,
関して
you'll
は
be sitting up
急
there on
に
the
口
stage
数が少なく
looking
なっ
on,
てきたっていうのがやっぱり重要なこと
wearing
のサインだと
black
思うし、
velvet.
まだ
And those
この出来事
pretty
に
arms
対
will have
し
turned
て
into little fat
何をどう
ones.
受け止めていいか
And
の
you'll
すら
beach
感触
time
も
with
得
a
ていない
different
状
kind
態
of
だと思いま
fan,
すよ。
a black ebony one.
まして、
Like you
す
see
ぐ
those
その
mothers
下の10歳のウォッチ
The
ャーに
man
至っ
seemed
て
to
は
shudder.
ね、も
and
う
you'll
何
smile
をどう考
away
えていい
like
か
those
もわ
poor
からない
old
が、
dears and point to your daughter
自分
and
の
tell the
悲しみ
lady
で
next
さ
to you
え
how some
まだ
dreadful
うま
man
く
tried to kiss her
表
at
現
some
できてい
ball
な
or
い
other.
段階にいるんじゃないかなと思うんだ
But
よ
your
ね。
heart will ache
そのままでさ、お父
because
さん未
no
来
one
を
wants to kiss you
さあ
now.
自分はこれから、
重荷になってどうの、それはもちろん本当によくわかりますよ。その前に段階があるんじゃないかなって気がする。要するに家族揃ってこの問題をどう捉えて、その時には醜いものも出てくるかもしれないし、お父さんが責められる場面も出てくるかもしれないし、自分たちがそれぞれ泣き出してそれぞれ個々が自分を責めるような場面も出てくるかもしれないけれども、そうした一種の心情的な修羅場を通してね、よし、こういう形でお母さんを守っていこうよと。共通の認識ができないままこの問題を解決することなど不可能ですよ。そこでお父さんが孤独になるのはわかるけど、僕はお父さんはやっぱりこれをみんなもう20歳、21、10歳っていう話せばわかる年代ですからね。
sitting on the
蓋を閉じないで、お母さん生きているわけだし、これを一つの共通法の問題として分かち合う必要が僕はあると思うよ。さてそれはどうするのか。これまできっとお父さんがやってこなかったことに鍵があるような気がしますよ。こういってはなんだけれども、結構この問題は深いし重たいよね、当然ね。それで場合によっては固定的で救いのない性格を持っている可能性があるよね。救いようのない、こうすればいつか解決しますよというような目標のない、夢のない重たい問題であるよね。それって僕ね、世の中にあんまり偶然って起きないような気がしてるんですよ。お父さんの場合によっては固定的で決して他を何か入れさせないで、何かこういう事態を招く要因というか、
And there you heard Daughters of the Garden Party, Ma Parker, and Her First Ball, written by Catherine Mansfield. They were dramatised by Katie Hims. The performers were Hattie Morahan, Rosie Caballero, Claire Colbert, Michael Birkinshaw, Cecilia Appiah, Carl Prekop, Charlotte East, Luke Nunn, Rose Bassista, and Paul Pierce. They were all directed by Jessica Dromgoole.
This video was uploaded to the channel Thinking Out Loud. Please like,
私は喋らなければいいんでしょ
to the Thinking Out Loud channel.
と語り続けている可能性もあるよね、そこ。